Most people think no contact is about them, the person who left, the person who hurt you, the person you're trying not to text at 2 a.m. while you stare at a screen that won't light up. It's not. No contact has nothing to do with them, and the moment you understand that, really understand it, everything changes. The silence stops being a punishment you're enduring and becomes a power you're building. But here's the problem. Almost nobody does it right. They go silent for 3 days, feel proud, then crack. They block a number and screenshot it to a friend like it's a trophy. They call it no contact while refreshing the other person's profile 40 times a day. That's not no contact. That's contact with extra steps. So today, I'm going to show you the right way, the Stoic way, the version the ancients would recognize. By the end of this, you won't just know how to go silent. You'll understand why the silence is the most powerful thing you own. Before we go deeper, do one small thing for yourself. If you've ever sat in that silence and felt it pull at you, take the second to like this video and subscribe to Stoic Blessing, because what's coming next is the part most people are never told, and I don't want you to miss it. And down in the comments, leave 3 words: silence is power. Not for me, for you. So that weeks from now, when the urge to reach out hits, you can scroll back, find your own words, and remember exactly who you decided to become. Now, let's begin. Let's name the lie first. Most people do no contact as a strategy, a trick, a move on a chessboard. They go quiet, hoping the other person will notice, hoping the silence will hurt, hoping that after a week or two, the phone will buzz and the message will read, "I miss you. I made a mistake." That's not discipline. That's a slot machine. You've just changed the lever you're pulling. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his private journals, "Never meant for your eyes or mine. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Read that again. Power over your mind, not over them, not over whether they call, not over whether they regret it. When you do no contact to manipulate the outcome, you've handed your power right back to the person you're trying to walk away from. You're still living in their house. You've just stopped paying rent and started sleeping in the yard waiting for them to open the door. The wrong way to do no contact. You count the days so they'll notice. You stay silent but check their every move online. You rehearse the conversation you'll have when they come back. You treat every quiet day as a withdrawal you'll one day cash in. Every one of those keeps them at the center of your life. The body is gone, but the throne is still occupied. The Stoics had a word for this kind of suffering. They didn't blame the event. They blamed the judgment about the event. Epictetus said it plainly: men are disturbed not by things, but by the views they take of things. You are not disturbed by their absence. You are disturbed by the story you keep telling yourself about their absence. And here's the thing nobody admits. You are addicted to that story. Not to them, to the loop, the replaying, the wondering, the imagined ending where it all gets resolved. The mind would rather suffer a familiar pain than sit in an unfamiliar peace. No contact is how you starve the loop until the peace stops feeling foreign. So, if it's not a strategy, what is it? No contact is a container. It's a quiet room you build around your own mind so that, for the first time in weeks, months, maybe years, you can hear yourself think without their voice in the background. That's it. That's the whole thing. You're not going silent to send a message. You're going silent to receive one from the part of you that got drowned out the entire time you were busy managing someone else's moods. Think about what was happening before. You woke up and your first thought was them. You ate and wondered what they'd think. You made decisions filtered through how they might react. Your nervous system was a radio permanently tuned to one station and the volume was stuck. No contact turns the radio off. And at first, listen to me, at first, the silence is unbearable because you've never sat in it. The quiet feels like loss. It feels like something is wrong. Your hands reach for the phone the way a smoker's hand reaches for a pocket that's empty now. That ache isn't a sign you should reach out. That ache is the withdrawal, and withdrawal always feels like proof that you need the thing. It never is. Seneca wrote to his friend Lucilius, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." The reaching, the wanting, the imagined conversations where everything finally gets resolved. That's the imagination doing what it does. The reality, the actual present moment, where you are sitting safely and breathing and whole, is almost always more bearable than the mind insists. No contact is how you stay in reality long enough for the imagination to lose its grip. So let me redefine it for you, cleanly. No contact is the deliberate practice of removing one person's input from your nervous system long enough to remember that you are a complete person without it. Not a weapon, not a test, a practice. Alright, let's get practical. Here are the 4 rules. Most people break all 4. You're going to keep them. Rule 1. The silence is total, including in your head. Blocking their number means nothing if you've unblocked their memory and let it run wild all day. Real no contact isn't just not texting, it's catching the mental conversation, the imaginary argument, the fantasy reunion, the replay of the last fight, and gently setting it down. Every time you catch yourself rehearsing, you say one word, enough, and you return to what's in front of you. The dishes, the walk, the breath. Marcus did this constantly in his journals. He kept dragging his own mind back from the future and the past into the only place a person can actually live. Now. You won't do it perfectly. Nobody does. You just do it again and again. The returning is the practice. Rule 2, no proxies, no spying, no backdoors. Don't ask the mutual friend how they're doing. Don't keep the one app you didn't block just to see. Don't drive the long way past their street. Every back door you leave open is a draft that keeps the fire from going out. Epictetus taught his students to draw a hard line between what is yours to control and what is not. Their life is not yours to control or even to know anymore. The instant you peak, you've traded your peace for a few seconds of information that always costs more than it gives. Close the doors, all of them, including the small ones you tell yourself don't count. Rule 3. Fill the silence, or it fills itself. This is where most people fail. They go quiet, but they leave a vacuum, and a vacuum doesn't stay empty. It fills with longing, with rumination, with the old story on repeat. So, you have to build in the space the other person used to occupy. Not distractions, those are just quieter ways of running. Build something real, the body you've neglected, the skill you abandoned, the friendships you let starve while you poured everything into one person, the work that's actually yours. The Stoics believed a life was made of one thing, action in accordance with virtue. Translation for right now, do the next right thing, then the next. Don't wait to feel motivated. Motion comes first. Feeling follows. You don't think your way out of heartbreak, you act your way into a self that no longer needs them. Rule 4. There is no scoreboard. The day they reach out, if they ever do, is not the finish line. And the day they don't is not a defeat. The whole point is to arrive at a place where their message would be nice, but not necessary. Where you could read it, feel something soft, and still choose yourself. If you're keeping score, you haven't started yet. The scoreboard means they're still the judge of your progress. Burn it. The only measure that matters is internal. Do I feel more like myself today than I did a month ago? That's the whole game. Here's what they don't tell you. It gets harder before it gets easier. There's a phase, usually a week or 2 in, where the panic spikes, where every cell in your body is screaming that you've made a terrible mistake, that you should reach out, that one little message wouldn't hurt. This is the exact moment most people break. They mistake the peak of the withdrawal for a sign from the universe. It is not a sign. It is a wave. And the Stoics understood waves. Marcus reminded himself again and again that everything passes. Pleasure, pain, fame, grief, all of it. Time is a sort of river of passing events, he wrote, and strong is its current. The urge that feels permanent right now will, if you simply don't act on it, crest and fall like every wave before it. You don't have to fight the wave. You don't have to win against it. You just have to not pick up the phone for the next 10 minutes, then the next 10. The wave doesn't need to be defeated. It needs to be outlasted. And there's a strange gift hidden in this part. Every wave you let pass without reaching out teaches your nervous system something it has never believed before. I can feel this and survive it. I don't have to fix the feeling. I don't have to be rescued from it. I can just feel it and let it go. That, right there, is the actual prize of no contact. Not getting them back. Not making them regret it. Learning that you are someone who can sit in fire and not run. Once you know that about yourself, no one can ever hold you hostage again. Not them, not the next one, not anyone. Because the leverage anyone has over you is only ever the discomfort you're unwilling to feel, and you just proved you can feel it and understand what that does to you over time. The first wave nearly breaks you. The 10th one barely moves you. By the time enough of them have passed, you stop bracing for the urge at all, because you felt it rise and fall so many times that it loses its authority. It becomes weather. Something that happens, that you notice, that you let go by. The person who once couldn't last an hour without reaching out becomes someone who forgets for whole days, at a stretch, that reaching out was ever an option. That's not coldness, that's freedom. Let's talk about the other side. There is a version of you on the far end of this silence, and I want you to meet them now so you have something to walk toward. This person doesn't flinch when the name comes up. They don't perform indifference. They're not pretending. They genuinely feel the warmth of what was, the lessons of what ended, and the quiet certainty that it's over. All at once, without drama. This person made it through the nights you're dreading. They felt the waves you're afraid of, and somewhere in the middle of all that silence, they stopped waiting. Not because they gave up, because they grew up, because they finally took the throne back. Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more who is poor." You are not poor because you lost someone. You become poor the moment you decide you can't be whole without them, and you become rich, truly, unshakably rich, the moment you prove to yourself that you can. No contact, done right, is not an act of avoidance. It is an act of return. You're not running away from them, you're walking back to yourself. So, here's the truth most people never hear. No contact was never about them noticing your absence. It was about you noticing your presence. The silence isn't a message you're sending. It's a home you're rebuilding, and the day you stop checking whether they came back is the same day you realize you don't need the door to open anymore because you stopped living in their yard a long time ago. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Go build the silence and let it make you unrecognizable. If this gave you something to hold on to today, sit with it. Don't rush to the next video, close the app, take one breath, and do the next right thing. That's where the power actually lives. And if you haven't yet, leave those 3 words in the comments, silence is power. And subscribe to Stoic Blessing. So, the next time the silence gets heavy, you have somewhere to return to.